Magic. The most powerful and yet the most dangerous force in the world and beyond. When channeled by a spellcaster of any kind, be it witch, a holy man or woman, a wizard of the academy, or a crazed pyromancer, the winds of magic can lead to great deeds of ruin or preservation, manifestations of destruction or of miraculous healing. Although it may take long years of practice before one is able to do such things. The world of Warhammer Fantasy has seen its fair share of powerful mages and spellcasters, from the great wizards of myth and legend to the legendary sorcerers that have shaped the world's history. These powerful mages have been a part of the landscape of the immemorial, albeit some magic users were made more powerful than others, either by the pure will of the gods or as a result of their extensive training. In a previously released episode, we covered some of the most powerful beings able to harness the magic of the world. Now in this follow-up episode, we shall discuss the greatest sorceresses in Warhammer. Special thanks to the patrons and YouTube channel members that make these videos possible. If you want to support our channel and gain access to our Discord server, have early access to the full finished videos before release, and have your name immortalized on our videos, check out the links in the description. Dark elves are no strangers to the use of dark magic, and it is no folly of judgment. Amongst mortals, their seat is undisputed at the thrones of spellcasting. Many could be counted amongst the users of this powerful form of magic, but one stands taller than the rest. Morathi, mother of Malekith, the Witch King, undoubted ruler of the dark arts, and once the bride of Ariel the Defender. She is one of the most renowned and feared sorcerers in the Warhammer world. Truly, the destruction that such an ancient mind can summon forth is nigh unheard of. She has made otherworldly pacts with numerous evil and frightening enemies, and she has a reputation of utterly crushing anybody who stands in her way. With magical powers rivaling that of the most powerful mages and spellcasters from other races, she has demonstrated her mastery over her sorcery time and time again during her many centuries of wars and confrontations. To look upon Morathi is to fret being forever enamored by her looks, for she is really good looking, and she uses this to her advantage. The foes sometimes even forgetting completely the dark soul that lies behind. And dark it is, for she can end the lives of many thanks to the destructive spells that she can unleash. With her spear-like scepter, she has been known to pluck the hearts of many combatants with the subtlest of moves. That's why her weapon is named the Heartrender. Morathi has spent her entire life plotting and planning to advance her own interests. Who can say how the history of the elves could have turned out differently if Ariel hadn't married her, and how many of his darker crimes were sown by the ideas she planted in his mind. Yet for all her beauty, she was finally spurned by the first Phoenix King, Ariel himself, because of her wicked disposition. Now her ultimate project is her son, Malekith, a powerful sorcerer on his own, to whom she has taught all that she knows about dark arts and statecraft alike. None have the supernatural determination that she has to put her son on the throne of Ulthuan, and should he perish, it would be better to burn it all to the ground than to see it in the hands of lesser beings. But perhaps the world might be a fair place, in a way, for if there is a woman such as Morathi in the world, then there must exist some kind of opposite. And that would be Ariel. Only through the direct interference of the gods does Ariel stand to rival Morathi in raw magical prowess, for she is an avatar of Isha, goddess of all that is green and grows. Together with her consort Orion, avatar of Kernus, they rule Athaloran with fists of wood and powerful magic. She is often sought out by the Wood Elves as a source of magical knowledge and power. Through her wisdom and magical expertise, she helps them understand the true power of nature, magic, and how it can be used to benefit their lives and protect the sacred forests of Athaloran.
Here, take a look. Isn't it beautiful? They don't call them magical arts for nothing, you know. Don't you see it? How the weave shapes and molds all around us. Magic is just as much an art as it is a discipline. It's not just all promises of doom, hell, or temptation. There is beauty in it. How can birthing a flower be a bad thing? How can giving rain back to a desolated land filled with starving people be corruptible? Magic is mere potential. You just need to make good out of it.
It is said that Ariel is capable of extraordinary feats, such as the ability to manipulate the forces of nature, the powers of the elements, provide divine protection even from the malevolent forces of chaos. Her powers also allow her to perform healing spells and magical transformations. But Ariel is not only capable of healing and restoring her allies, she is also a force to be reckoned with. Facing Ariel in battle is an intimidating prospect, and one that is filled with danger. She is a powerful and skilled spellcaster, and adept at using her magic to overwhelm her enemies. Her spells can range from the manipulation of the destructive forces of nature to subtle yet devastating curses and enchantments to weaken or outright kill her foes. With her rule over all under the canopy, she frightens, confuses, or simply murders would-be intruders to her gleaming realm.
All the branches you break, the leaves and vines you tread on, will rise up in anger and punish you for your insolence.
It would be a great and a terrible thing at the same time to witness Ariel. Despite her moth-like complexion, she has the nigh-sculpted face of a demi-goddess, and with her glowing wings she soars over the earth, showering it with glittering dust. It is said that her green dress, forever locked in a state of perfect cleanliness, trails away into infinity. Such is the power of an avatar of the gods themselves. Nature bends to the will of the queen. It is by her will that the forest grows, and then fades when it does, making for the cycle of life. Being thousands of years old, she has weathered everything from demon incursions, vast and terrible warherds of the savage beastmen, great wars from the battle-hungry greenskins, ignorant Bretonnian woodsmen and poachers, dwarf throngs who see the woods only as fuel for their gigantic and ever-hungry furnaces, and the list goes on and on. But Ariel has always been there to stop them. In truth, as long as she lives, so does the sacred oak of ages, so does the forest, and so do the wood elves. Katarin Boka, the descendant of ancient Khan queens, daughter of Tsar Boris Boka the Great, is the most powerful ice witch alive. The land underneath her feet comes alive with her presence, and even great wings of the Boka Palace sprung up suddenly, made entirely of glacial ice, made by her will. Her father, mighty bear rider and ruler of men, died in battle in the year 2517 of the imperial calendar, leaving Katarin to take the throne at an early age. A huge responsibility. But not only did she survive, she thrived. Border disputes with the nearby provinces of the Empire are not uncommon, as ambitious elector counts seek to encroach on rightful Kislevite land. Threats from within, such as overly ambitious nobles, known as boyars, are fairly frequent as well. Disputes between ethnic groups from inside the nation itself as Kislev are also some of the problems the Ice Queen has to deal with, as Kislev is also home to many tribes of men. But from her ice palace, Katarin rules with an iron grip over her land and commands respect from her subjects and allies. Powerful mage in her own right, a stubborn governor and cold woman, the Ice Queen watches over Kislev. Ice magic is fueled by the sentient spirit of the land of Kislev itself. Indeed, an ancient enemy of the Chaos Gods. The Tsarina is said to have the vast majority of her country backing her, so it is that her powers and influence can encompass such large swathes of land. She rules with such determination and ferocity that even a great war, headed by the terrible orc beast known as Grimgor Ironhide, is forced to head back to their filthy lairs, driven mad by the sheer boredom of fighting a powerful snowstorm that the Queen had summoned.
Steady your hearts, brothers and sisters of Kislev. The motherland protects. Embrace her, and we will see victory!
Katarin Boka sees the world as a great game of icy chess, leading her nation through agents and generals, from the back lines, rather than through raw might. Even so, she is respected by both Ungles and Gospodars as an ancient Ice Witch warrior of old, and even allies from faraway lands recognize her mighty presence. Everything from Wissenlander pike companies and esoteric knightly orders to small throngs of adventurous dwarves from the mountain realms come to her aid, bolstering her already significant military. In truth, if the need arises, she will not hesitate to lead her armies into the gates of hell itself. She may not be the most charismatic leader of Kislev, that honor would go to her late father, but she too brings forth aid from multiple nations when she rides to battle. In the instances where the powerful queen participates in battle personally, she is followed by a special regiment of bodyguards known as the Ice Guard. A fearsome unit of all-woman warriors that wield magical weapons, all imbued with the powers of ice magic. Without hesitation, each and every one of them would face even greater demons for their mistress. That is, if the Ice Queen herself doesn't banish them first.
I give my body, heart, and soul to the lady whom I seek. No plea for help shall find me wanting. No obstacle will stand before me.
Morgiana Le Fay, also known as the Fey Enchantress, brings with her the words of the Lady of the Lake, her prerogatives and her magical prowess, and with every word that she mutters, she transcends ordinary institutions of powers. Her wise counsel is above the dukes, and even the kings listen to her. It is said that she is the most powerful person in Bretonnia, since she acts as the Lady of the Lake's direct representative. The Grail Knights, considered by many to be most powerful of all riders of the old world, obey her every whim. and her oath sworn to follow her into death and beyond. Her seldom doubted beauty rivaled only, perhaps, by Lucretia Belladonna of Tilia, although it is best not to speak of the matter or risk setting off a duel or two. She is known to give her favor to knights at special occasions, and sometimes personally guides them into the end of their quests. Knights that gain her favor vow to never again flee from battle. If that vow is broken, the knight suffered dire consequences. Counted amongst the very few humans to ride a magical unicorn, Morgiana is indeed never unaccompanied. In the darkest times, through the grimmest of battles, a retinue of legendary Grail Knights, the Grail Guardians, move alongside her, and they are known to slaughter the enemies of the Lady with such fervor that even their skeletons hold holy power after their undoubtedly glorious deaths.
Take solace in the Lady's shining grace for victory!
We work covertly. As Isha looks from upon high, so shall we look down on these mortal puppets by taking the higher ground. Now, away, my host! Begin the toil!
Alarielle the Radiant is the Ever-Queen of the Elves and the current ruler of Ulthuan. Being the 11th of her kind to rule, Alarielle bestows upon the title of Ever-Queen the grace that only a chosen priest of Isha could. By many accounts, she has put even gods to tears with her delightful visage. When happiness strikes her, the skies gleam with golden sunbeams and cotton-white clouds. When anger smites her, the ground quakes and the sun hides beneath a dark canopy of storm clouds. Such is her skill and affinity with high magic, and such is her favor with the gods. She is known for her courage and wisdom, and for her dedication to protecting the people of the realms, and it is for this reason that her presence brings hope and encouragement to those around her. Alarielle has led the High Elves through great catastrophes never before dreamt of, save for the Great War against Chaos. Malekith himself, the king of the Dark Elves, has invaded Ulthuan on more than one occasion during her rule. Through all tribulations, she has led the High Elves. Alarielle is able to bind enemies in magical prisons and break curses that have been placed upon her warriors. She has used her powers to protect her people from not only the Dark Elves, but from other forces of darkness that threaten Ulthuan and its inhabitants, and this has only strengthened her reputation among her followers. Her presence has a calming effect on those around her, even in the face of danger and war. It is believed that she is able to commune with the spirit world, granting her knowledge and insight far beyond the understanding of mere mortals. This allows the Ever-Queen to know of any invader's movements and swiftly act upon them. Servant of life and light, she is fundamentally opposed to all forms of corruption, including that of her own courts. Her mere look, the mere glimpse of her golden hair, throws those filled with corruption into tantrum spirals and banishes the foul-hearted, including demons. Such is her light that it rivals the very sun, and with it she drives High Elves into courageous acts around her. Truthfully, and unlike some of the previous Ever-Queens, Alarielle makes time to personally lead great armies into war. For the sake of all that is good and wholesome, does she hide her hatred of violence in all of its forms.
maybe I will make an example out of you. Maybe it's time for the true masters of this earth to take hold of their destiny. Break the hands at their tether. We shall no longer witness the hanged, mangled, and rotting remains of our brothers and sisters in full display at every town's gate. I shall no longer have my nostrils filled by the stench of their charred bodies in every city's center. I shall no longer have to hide what makes me unique, what makes me more than you will ever be. Wizard kind shall inherit civilization, and our offspring will one day look back at their parents and predecessor in awe and admiration. For we would have brought the dawning of a new era, and through hail, hell, or high water, maybe not even through me or my lifetime, but that day will come, and if I can have any say in the matter, the age of magic begins today.
To partake in such discipline, a student must be resilient, alert at all times, and most of all, humble. Differently from what fame and vicious tongues may tell in the wake of some of our most prominent magisters' deeds. Here at the colleges of magic we allow no braggarts, pig-headed fools, and definitely no self-built heroes. You have all been chosen by great powers, that is true. But make no mistake, it wasn't but an accident. Even the most eagle-eyed hunter at the service of our Excellence's court, the Emperor, wouldn't be able to peer even the smallest crumb of greatness amongst you. Power, the same power you have in you, the same power that makes you oh so special won't make you great. No, that is what will eat away at you, a morsel at a time, until nothing is left. Power, the temptation of power, is something that will never leave you. It will gnaw at the edges of your mind forever, until your very last thought before leaving this mortal soil. I am here to make so that such burden won't crush you before the due time. And for those who don't feel its weight yet, well, I doubt I'll be seeing your fair visages at next year's Grobestreffen. The reunion adjourns. We hope you've enjoyed this lore presentation. If you want to learn more about the fantastic world of Warhammer Fantasy, consider checking out this video, where we explore the different factions and leaders that are the rulers of the old world. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.